rather be in a relationship with their trauma than be in a relationship with their children. And that is a hard sell. And then the next thing they do is a deflection. And then when you think about it, when you were growing up, you just thought that that's the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the type of life you have to lead in this era of accountability, when I say not era, but era of technology creates accountability. There's a footprint, there's a screenshot that goes with everything. There's an email, there's a paper trail. There's a lot of connectivity between you and whoever else. So you got to be careful who you talk to. Whereas before, you can kind of discard people. You can compartmentalize a whole lot differently because there's no paper trail behind everything until that side family pulls up at the funeral, or somebody saw you at somebody else's house one night and confirm some kind of suspicions or whatever. All of these skeletons start coming out of the closet, and then the women have been deflecting onto the men for ages because I think black men get blamed for too much. Because how is it possible that we don't own anything but get blamed for everything?
Well, because you're not there. Because you don't own anything, you get blamed for everything. And look at it societally. Black people, what do we own? 0.1% of this country's wealth. We get blamed for everything.
Yep.
The prison is full of us. We are less than 13% of the population. How are we anywhere near the numbers we represent in prison? Because if you're not there, if you're not financially represented, politically represented in this country, then you get the shit into the stick, and that is the way that it works. I think that Black people do themselves an injustice focusing so deeply on relationship issues when we really should look at this thing more globally. We own 0.1% of this country's wealth, and if you don't believe it, look it up. And it may be less than that. And we are the most, we spend the most, but we have the less rights. And it just really doesn't make any sense from a capitalistic standpoint until you look at it and say the people who are well represented financially are the least of these in the prisons. How many Asians do you see in the prison system? How many Arab people do you see in the prison system? Okay, now go back and look and see how much of our country they own. And that'll make sense. It'd be huge. Yes, the daddy get blamed in the house because he wasn't there. And you get scapegoated because my mother would say, how are you blaming the parent who's...
All right, folks. Appreciate you sticking with me to the end. This has been another episode of Beyond the Algorithm. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Go get the book. And most importantly, I will see you beyond the algorithm because that's where life actually happens.